Recorded. So, you know, at any point in time, if anyone would like a one-on-one meeting with me, please reach out to me through Canvas email message, and I'm happy to arrange that time. Sometimes I do it early in the morning, sometimes late at night. I usually don't like to stay up late at night, but I will if that's the only time you have available. So just let me know. All right, I'm going to go ahead and go into this next module that we're working on now. Which is, well, if there are no questions on Module 11, we're going to go ahead and go into Module 12, which is where we are right now. So here, the 29th, Module 12, we're looking at YouTube basics and YouTube videos. And then for the next week, we're going to be going into building and managing a brand on YouTube. And then we have an assignment that's due where you're including where you're building that YouTube channel, and then you're actually putting a link to a video on your web page. Now, of course, if you have a mock-up web page, you just put a mock-up video in there. Well, you can actually do the video, you just link it to the mock-up website. All right, and so let's go ahead and get started here. I'll have a little bit of a Okay, there we go. All right, so here I have a lot of this is chock full of some really good resources here. I just want to go ahead and go over a few things with you to give you a good comfort level with it. So we have there's a template here. So here we're working on building your channel, the activities for Module 12. Here is a slide deck that goes over some of the basic information on YouTube. We ask you to go ahead and consider just putting this information in, just jot it on a paper, put it in your phone on notes, but have something that you can kind of start to get an idea of where you want to go with your YouTube channel. Now, some of you already have a YouTube channel. That's fantastic. Probably going to ask you to do a little more work on it there. But those of you who don't, this is a great experience to tie in, start a YouTube channel, start to build it, and tie it in with your business idea. All right, so you want to think about 3 areas of interest for your target audience. We have our persona, we have our archetype of our customer. We have an idea of what our customer looks like, and we've been writing about that pretty consistently in our assignments. So now we want to take a look and think about that particular customer segment that we're addressing. And what are some areas of interest for that customer that we could find a way to kind of exploit that area of interest with our YouTube channel, with some of the videos? So you want to think about some of the categories. I want to pick on Matthew again, sorry, because I like your business and I really like the idea of vintage clothing and that whole area. So I still have a closet full of vintage stuff myself. So I'm going to go and pick on you. So what are some areas here that your customer segment might have some kind of interest that you might consider exploiting for a YouTube video? So one thing might be understanding different types of vintage attire. There are so many different categories of vintage attire, no pun intended here on the categories, but there are many different categories from years, from styles, and it would be really nice for someone, for Matthew, who has this vintage clothing resale business, to educate his customers and have them become even more interested in purchasing that type of clothing, right? So think about that could be an area like perhaps breaking down the types of clothing by year, by designer, by different other themes, and then finding a way to explain that or to present it, right? So right now we're just coming in with what are some interesting ideas that our target might be interested in. So we're going to come up with 3 ideas. And then we're going to list 20 YouTube content ideas. What can you do? I mean, there's so many different things. You can just even go on YouTube and just say, well, what are some of the ideas out there? You can use ChatGPT to help you too with some areas of interest. And please consider using GPT as a resource. I know we've been using it as a resource. We want to continue using it as a resource. All right, so here we want to think about maybe some good catchy titles for some of the areas that we want to exploit. So here I am, I'm sticking with, Matthew's idea here. So what one idea may be, uh, let's say, a specific year or a range of years for vintage clothing could be one specific title. So you may say 1950s vintage clothing attire, right? Or and we're just really coming up with the ideas here now, and then we're going to expand on the titles. But right now, so we can expand on that title, go further, and make it into maybe a list or steps or all those sorts of things like that. But right now, we just want to come up with some content for what it might look like. All right, so come up with several different ideas, and this helps you just to start. When you come up with 20 different ideas, you just start to get freewheeling, and you just come up with lots of different ideas, and some of them may be zany, and that's okay. List them anyway. Then pick 3 that you want to start with, right? So just think of what are those 3 that I really want to start to develop from the beginning, because they really closely relate to the business I want to attract more customers. And then you'll go with your YouTube title. Now, this is the title of your channel. You want to think about that as well. What's your YouTube title going to be? And then you want to think about if having a thumbnail for any type. If you don't have a video yet, this is something you're going to wind up doing in time. You're going to create a video, and then you're going to wind up putting in the thumbnail. So you have a couple of YouTube titles. You have 1, 2, 3 ideas for titles. You want to design a banner. Now, here, a good idea for a YouTube channel banner is if you go to Canva, they have a whole section on YouTube banners, and you can choose a banner from there. You can use their templates, you can customize it, you can make some changes and find something that's really appropriate for your business and put that as the banner of your YouTube channel. So these are the steps that you're going to be using to help you to achieve this assignment for this module 12. Pick a profile photo, okay, for your YouTube channel. We have Canva for photos. There's Unsplash. There's several other sources that we've utilized in this course for photos. Or take your own photo if that's what you'd like to do. You can go ahead and do that as well. All right, here we have like add the channel and publish. I know that's a risky, and you're just like, oh my God, I got to publish it. Yeah, publish it. And you may not have many people looking at it in the beginning, and you can work on it and you can improve it over time. But go ahead and publish it so that I can see it when you turn in the assignment. All right, next. You want to go with some basic information about your channel. Think basic, don't have to be really fully descriptive, right? But just to, fill in a description, you publish the channel, just make it simple to start with, and we can work on it in the next module. So this gives you some ideas to kind of like, okay, I got a message that I'm going to follow for the flow. All right, let's go see. Are there any questions on this before I move on to the next?
No questions. Thank you
Okay.
so much for your help.
You're welcome. All right, so here is a document. Let me see if I can just download it. When I do something on Zoom like this, it always seems to take longer. So here are some ideas to assist you if this comes up here. Okay, here we go. So here are some ideas for titles. Now, you can just do this yourself and you do your own search on YouTube. But here's just one place where you say, oh, I kind of like that idea. So how-to examples are very, very popular. Like how to do this, how to choose vintage clothing from the 70s, how to do this, how to do that, right? How to determine that your vintage clothing is authentic, right? There's many different things you can do there. Do's and don'ts or pros and cons is another one. So you could think, do I want to do that? Or is that appropriate for my business? Another one is a list, 5 things to do, 15 most blah, 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 right? and then, so these are a list of ideas that can help you as well on a video. A DIY, how to do this yourself, how to do that, right? And then here, before you do this, watch this, right? So before you buy another vintage clothing item, watch this video. Matthew, I know I'm really going overboard with you, but it's in my head. Sorry.
I love
Okay.
it. Thank you. I
Okay.
appreciate it.
Well, it's nice for me to have pick one area and kind of go into it, and then I can just kind of go along with all of it. So there are several different things you can go along with here. So you specific adjectives: amazing, epic, best, number one. These are other wonderful adjectives you can use in your title of your YouTube video. Tips, ways, and steps of doing things: 5 steps to do this, 5 tips on that, so forth and so on. And then here, versus X versus Y, like so forth and so on. So that might be something that you might want to consider. Specific results, like within a certain time period, perhaps. How to do this, how to make your first 1,000. Okay, how to lose 10 pounds a week, right? But how to do something, finding a result over a period of time. So that might be something you might want to consider. Fast results, how to do this quickly, how to do that, 5 minutes to do that, right? So that might be another area that you may want to focus on. A guide, a guide to make this, how a complete guide to that. So you have ideas that might work for you. Mistakes, how to avoid common mistakes. Top 10, here we go, top 10 fashion mistakes that you need to avoid. So you could say top 10 vintage fashion mistakes you need to avoid, or just add that vintage area in there, right? So, or topic. Next, a question. You're asking a question. And this is someone who actually has a question, and then they do a search on the question, and there you go. Your video pops up. Right, so maybe a questioning. Easy results. So that might be another one. 2 quick and easy ways to blah, blah, blah. Right, so we can think about that. And then the current year. So best of this, the best vintage clothing in 2024, or 2020, or coming up in 2025, something like that. But we can think about other ways that we can include that as well. So I hope that can generate some ideas for you to come up with some thoughts for your YouTube videos, for your channel. All right, so let's see what we have next. Okay, so here's some useful examples. This doesn't want to come up quickly, so I'll have to give it a minute. Here we go. Some good examples for startups. So this slide deck will go into, just get it set up for you. Okay. You want to think about the outcomes. What is it that you want to achieve when you're setting up a YouTube strategy? What are you trying to resolve there? Really want to think about how you want to appeal to your customer segment, don't we? We want to think about our value proposition statement. So that's really important for you to think about. Some other important strategies for startups. You want to, you can help startups establish themselves as a leader, right, in a respective industry. Think of yourself as you're the expert. So Matthew's the expert on vintage clothing. And so just position yourself that way. We talked about how with Matthew's situation, he could become the expert by writing a book, or, I mean, it doesn't really have to be a lengthy book, but maybe a pamphlet, and it's on his website. And then with the YouTube videos, he's an expert in this area and that area of all these different types of vintage clothing items, or maybe accessories as well, right? So you want to portray yourself as the expert. You want to create high quality content. Oops, I'm sorry about that. High quality content, right? So that's really important. And then wind up getting a following. So of course, with the YouTube channel, you want people to connect with you, follow you, so you have a following, and then you can you can reach out to those people when maybe something new comes out, or you've developed something new, or a new video release or something like that. You can reach out to your captive audience. So Allbirds is an interesting YouTube campaign. You might want to look that up and see for yourself how they had in started a YouTube channel and really had some significant sales increases due to their YouTube presence. So it's something to look into. Um, and let's just see. So we want to also consider our ADA model, right? We want to grab their attention, we want to think about the interest and desire, and then getting them to take action. So oftentimes with a YouTube video, we're just wanting to maybe give them away give something for free, educate your customer, but ultimately you want to get them to come to your website to purchase something. So we want to always keep that in the back of our mind, that we still want to get get them to take action and not just generating the attention. Got to drive them down that ADA model. So Casper is a mattress company. There are so many mattress companies out there. So how is it that they could do well in a very crowded market? Well, they set up many videos on YouTube that launched in 2014, and their campaign resulted in 1.2 million views, which helped the company grow considerably. There's still other mattress companies out there now, but it really their growth was sparked by YouTube videos. So YouTube can be pretty powerful, right? So here's some other additional information here about how they went about doing that. So some of the content they had for their videos here, how to sleep only 2 hours a day. I don't think so. I need much more than 2, but it's eye-catching. Like, what do you mean 2 hours a day? That mattress is that good that all I need is 2 hours a day of sleep. So you can see how it's a little outrageous and slightly guerrilla in its marketing campaign, but it's something different, right, than others are doing. Here, extreme bedroom makeovers, the tech edition. So here's something you can see that might grab someone's attention. Now, it's not really focused on the mattress right now. They're just talking about the bedroom. And then they have areas how to improve the bedroom, but their main focus will be the bed, the mattress, right? That's what they're selling. And then here, top 10 things to do from bed. So while you're in bed, you want to have a very comfortable mattress, but you have a lot of things that you can do while you're hanging around in bed, right? So you can, a lot of people like to work in their bed. They like to have the type of mattress that gives you elevated backlift so that you can, use your computer in bed. You can, do work there. You can snack in bed. They have plenty of things that you can do. Watch TV, of course, but there's many other things. So they try to catch someone's attention to visit that video. So you can think about spark some other ideas from companies that have already done so. Warby Parker is another one. They launched in 2010, where they are a eyeglass frame company, and they exceeded tremendously with a YouTube video promotion, right? So they've really did a fabulous job with video presentations on YouTube. Squarespace is another one. You can see this. Some of these companies have gotten very large and starting just on YouTube. Many have had very little outside advertising aside from YouTube. So that's another thing that you consider. Birds, when I mentioned that earlier. So think about how you can even look at some of those competitors, see what they've done, and see how you could really, customize something for yourself. Consider that as a model to go along with. Okay, so that's about it. This is just some additional information here. Some unique selling points, sustainability, if that's what Allbirds had done. Just going into some really specific markets. So you can see I've mentioned some of these earlier. Minimalistic styles, that's what they had done. Direct-to-customer model could be one. Innovative branding, and so forth. Okay, let's see what we have next. Okay. So going back to module 12 here, we have like the identify your audience, so you want to make sure you consider that. Um, 51 video ideas to jumpstart your channel is the next one. This is a doc. Open that up for you. So we try to chock this full of resources that would help you to think about different things. So here, this is just a running list of ideas. Maybe a product review, best product under $100, a simple basic tutorial, how-to series, a vlog, so forth and so. I'm not going to read the whole list to you, but you have some. You might be able to come up with some really good ideas here. Some of these ideas are currently being used and are very successful on YouTube. But think about them, right? The next section here, so I have lots of tools to help you to come up with good ideas on your YouTube channel. So videos and shorts. So here's the next area. So how to make YouTube videos better or videos better. Again, this is a slide deck, brief slide deck. So here, this is another like workshop slide deck to help you. How can you make it better? All right, let's say here you want to list some of uh, your items on based on feedback, right? So you want to think about areas like your content, feedback on content of your videos, including topics that you choose, to be covered. Think about like what we've already done so far, or you're going to be doing, and then think about what your content would be. And how would your presentation come? Think about how you might be able to get feedback from your content as well. I will give you feedback, but you might want to ask others before you publish it, right? So including your camera, so forth, the tone of your voice, overall delivery when you're doing a presentation. The best thing that I can suggest is look at other really good YouTube videos and think about how you can copy basically what they're doing. I mean, it's not going to be the same content, but how do they place themselves? What does the lighting look like? What works for them that you can structure for your own video? The engagement. What does the engagement look like? You want to really try to engage your audience, grab their attention early on with your video, and then walk them through whatever it is that you want to captivate for them. Product quality. So you want to get some technical aspects of your video. Is it good quality? Is it or is it grainy looking? You want to try to get good video content. Oftentimes, cell phones now have very good video content. So you want to think about that. Sound editing. Do you have background noises? If you're outside and then you hear the birds and you hear the wind blowing and other things, that might not be very effective. And if you're in the house, do you have a ceiling fan going on behind you? It looks like a whirligig over your head. So you want to be sure that you don't have any distractions, good quality video. The branding and consistency also, you want to think of including your channel name and in all your videos, create a logo, overall the total aesthetics of the content and the delivery should all come together and it should blend nicely. It should align with each other. Are there any questions on any of this information here? You want to think about how you're going to produce this information, your videos and your YouTube channel?
No, none for me.
Okay,
Thank you.
you're welcome. I hope. All right. So the next slide here we have is like, so what are you going to do for content? You want to think about how are you going to, because if you don't plan what you're going to do on your video and you just go and do it, it probably won't come out as well as if you took a little bit of time to plan out the steps that you need. So here is a slide for you to go ahead and just put in your information about all those categories that we just mentioned. All right, what we have next. All right, so we have how to make videos better, video editing practices. Let's go to that, and then we go down to the next one. So you want to, there are several video editing software programs out there. Uh, you know, you can go to YouTube, you can go to the video editor, and if you don't have a YouTube channel, I'm just gonna go ahead and show you mine, okay? So I'm gonna go ahead and then you can see what mine looks like. And then I can show you how I edit a video. Okay, so here's my channel. I don't have a banner. Shame on me. I don't have it. But if I go to my videos over here, so I have a list of my videos and I could edit them. So here I am with my channel content in the area. I could go to the other areas too, but here's where I want to be able to, and this is taking a little longer than normal. Usually comes up immediately. Oh yeah, this is taking long. All right, so here I have several videos here, and all I have to do is select the little edit details here where I can make changes. But if I want to, splice the video. Let's say I have a video and I don't really like maybe some times where there's some uh, silent times, and I want to cut that and take that out, or I've had somebody walked into the room and created some noise and I have to cut that out, or something happened that I just need to modify it. So I want to be able to take care of that, right? And so here when I have, like, let's say I have this video right here, and what I do is just go to editor. So I've selected the video. I can change the name if I want to. I go to editor, and then here I can trim and cut sections as I like. Now it takes a minute for it to come up, and this is taking a little longer. I can speed it up a little bit here, but actually putting in a number here to get it going. And there you go. So I just put in zero 0.2 seconds, and then it will bring up the video. And then from here, I can, if I don't like something in the video, I can cut it. So I can do trim and cut, and then a new cut if I want to do it from wherever I want to do it from. Let's say, okay, I want to do it from 00, the very beginning, and I want to cut not a whole minute. I want to cut, it just gives you suggestions, of course. But let's just say I want to do um, the first 20 seconds I want to remove because it's just dead air, right? And then all I do is click the out, and then it will remove that section. Now, of course, I can play that section, and it tells me here if I want this, yes, I can click it here or I can click it there. But you want to listen to it to make sure that you're not cutting out something you want, right? But you can easily just find exactly the space that you want to cut from. So you have a nice, clean, professional looking video. I'm not going to cut that because I'm still working on this one right now. But this gives you an idea. You can go to the editor, you can make changes, and then you can go ahead and make it a more professional looking video, and then include it in your on your website. If you want to just have one video on your website, or you can have your link to your YouTube channel on your website. Okay, so now I'm going to go back to the course, and we go down to the next item here, which is finding relevant tags for your video. So tags are like keywords on your website. So you want tags on your video so that when people do search on YouTube, that your video comes up. So it's just similar to a YouTube, a keyword. All right, so here, I'm gonna go ahead and show you this, that there are some good ways to go ahead and do this. This is also an application video. All right, so let's see. So what are some good ideas for tags here? Start with some brainstorming. Think about keywords that are relevant, maybe some of the same keywords you use on your website. That would be helpful, and you want to include those on your video and in your description of your video, as well as the title of your video, right? So it's really pretty much, very much like a website. Use YouTube search bar, right? So that's another one. You can look at some of the keywords in users in YouTube to see what's currently being used and where you might fit in there. And then look at those competitors, use the keyword tools. You can use the Google Keyword Planner to help you with some other keywords. And then you want to be very specific. So and then I have where you can just come up with your brainstorming ideas. You can use this as a tool to help you just populate the information. All right, what I want to do is go back to YouTube. I'm going to go to actually youtube.com, go out here, and let's just do a search, right? So I'm going to pick on Matthew again. Vintage clothing. Now, this might be too broad and there might be too much, but look at the ideas that I have here. Vintage clothing store, men, babies, a business, collections, right? There's many different areas that you may say, oh, you know what? Shopping. Let's just shopping. And then we can go from there. But there could be some other things. Now, you can see what we have here. We have some really good video thumbnails here, don't we? You could see they grab your attention. Here's this guy, and here's her with all this stuff, well, racks and racks of clothing. So you want to think boxes of clothing. I don't know. Here is how to find vintage, right? So here's another one. But you can see, all right, these are my competitors. How can I position myself that I'm in a different category or in an improved category over theirs? You can also see how long the videos are here, 4 minutes. That one's 5 minutes and so forth and so on. But it gives you an idea. You want to see your competitors. We've looked at our competitors' websites. We want to look at our competitors' YouTube channels as well. All right. This guy's kind of funny. He's like, yeah, this is what I put in Goodwill. All right. So that's it relates to shopping, right? Relates to that keyword. All right. Let's go back. And we go back to the module here, module 12. All right. And then our assignment for this week, which is due the 31st. Incidentally, if you don't turn it into the 1st, that's fine. Don't worry about it because the 31st is Easter, right? So not a problem. So your YouTube channel, I'm only asking for your YouTube channel set up, have a banner, have your image up there. You don't have to have, well, I have at least one video and a thumbnail. So you want to think about how do you get a thumbnail? And with that one video, YouTube automatically provides you with thumbnails. I'm going to go ahead and show you mine. So if I look at, let's say this video right here is my most recent. Oh, this is actually, sorry. It's actually pulling up the video. So I need to go to my videos. And then if I choose that one, which is the edit, remember I told you the edit feature, I can do that. And then I have some ideas for thumbnails, but I can also upload a thumbnail here. Like these are some suggestions that YouTube has, and they're usually not very good. But here you can create one on Canva, and then you can upload it and you can make it really engaging looking, and you can include that here, and that will be, and you click that one. Right now, this one's clicked. You can select this one, and that would be your thumbnail. So this is what I'd like you to do. Just a very brief video. I mean, if it's only 1 minute, that's fine. And then create a thumbnail from Canva. So it's your video. Yes, I know it's you doing it, but you're going to do that. And then you're going to go ahead and do a thumbnail. Canva is great for that. So consider that as one of the better sources for creating a thumbnail. And it's very simple, very quick and easy process. Canva is wonderful. All right, and that's it for this. You're just supplying your link to your YouTube channel here. Don't forget to publish it if you don't already have one, and then you're good to go. Are there any questions at all? Oh, look, I changed it's open till the 2nd now. So don't worry about it turning in on the 31st. If you turn it on the 2nd, not totally fine. Any questions at all?
No, perfect. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. And then I will have next Wednesday as optional for a section, and I'll go into the next part of this of managing your brand, and then going ahead and including YouTube, your YouTube video on your website. All right, that'll be the following week's assignment. So thank you so much for joining us. Is there anything anyone else wants to discuss on any topic at all as it relates to the course?
No, I'm perfect. Thank you so much.
Hey,
Thank you for
Pete,
everything.
you're welcome. Pete, do you have anything?
No.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, very good. You guys have a great day, and then I'll see you in the course.
Thank you. Have a great weekend. Happy
Thank,
holidays.
same to you. Thank you so
Bye.
much. Bye-bye.